video. Now I did understand the sandbox the first time around and everybody liked it and people got what I was trying to say. Now what I want to do this time, I want to do a part two, but I want to go a little bit more in depth with a few things because Age of Wushu is actually a very good game, a very underrated game. But the problem with Age of Wushu is that it's very hard to understand what to do majority of the time. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to clear that up a little bit for you. The most important thing to do in Age of Wushu, just all the time, is to make sure that you are always cultivating your inner skill. Whatever school you have, that has to be what you do right away. The major reason why you need to do that right away is because there is something actually called exploring um, Jinghu or however you want to pronounce it. You cannot do anything in that unless you get yourself to a higher skill. You need to be spiritually balanced, and you need to be have your rep at unknown 2, which is really usually easy. You see my rep's already unknown 3. I did start over because I just didn't like Shaolin anymore, and I didn't want to spend the time of actually changing over and then going through that. I was like, I ain't got time for that, so I just started all over. Right now, I'm actually at level 19 on my inner skill, about to be level 20, and then I can cross over and make it go a little even higher when I do the quest for that. But that's a different story. What you really need to do off the bat is just make sure that your inner skill is always leveling, no matter what. It just always has to be leveling because that it just gives you more power. That's like your level, and that isn't as emphasized as much as it should be. To be honest with you, that really needs to be said directly. That this is the most important thing that you have. This is like a stat that needs to be leveled all the time. And what you spiritually balanced basically means you need to have two things up to a certain point. It can be either or, it doesn't have to be both. Your first inner skill has to be up to level 35, or your second inner skill has to be up to level 20. That's how you get spiritually balanced, the actual title, and then you would actually be able to do the Jingu section. Now, the reason why this is important, well, not exactly important, but at least good, is because you can get different skills. And, like, again, this is something that's not really said. You can get different these different skills, like you can get the demon dance and I'm demon dance. You can get the soul stealing skill set. You get mantis fist, which is like my favorite. I love the mantis fist. And you get the demon heart chain. The demon heart chain is ridiculous. The soul stealing is kind of like if you want to be evil and it takes energy away from you, and dagger and that type of stuff. It is neither here nor there, but I like the mantis. The skills for mantis is just so pretty, and I just love it. Demon Heart Chain is again for the sinister type people. It's pretty cool. Now you can also have, like, you get these like items right here. You can use those for the actual challenges, and you can get these, which are pretty good. They're like buffs and stuff like that. And they can last a week or so. As you can see here, I'm gonna pounce over them really quick so you can see what they do. These little weekly buffs, and you can pretty much, they're pretty good to get out there and get. Alright, now this is just one thing that you can do. It makes life a little bit easier because there's other skill sets and there's other things out there that you can get, but they're not as accessible as this is. This is kind of like your entry level stuff that you can get without, script stealing. Well, script stealing is kind of easy, but without script stealing and finding things in dungeons, this is like the very first things that you can kind of get yourself introductory. And it's not really explained to you in the game. They explain to you how to do it, but they don't explain to you how important it is to actually go out and get this type of stuff done. So we're just gonna move along from there. Now another thing that I actually showed you in another video is basically how to make money in this game. How to make money in this game is relatively easy. You can kidnap, which you're probably gonna have to repent for, and you can farm. I would say do both. If you really want to make money fast, what you can do is you can kidnap, and then in between the time of waiting for the kidnapping, as you can see right here, I basically I'm waiting for this to cool down. You can go and farm. Now I'm just running around right now, just looking at the Wudang area because I haven't actually looked at the Wudang area. As you see me just doing my thing, running around right here, and this is just fun for me, just to look at the game and everything while I talk to you. Okay, the next thing I wanted to touch on is actually leveling fast. You can do that with team practice. I'm gonna show you where to do that at, where it's popular. Usually that's Wudang, and it's gonna be at the coordinates, and I'm about to show you. So whatever class or whatever school that you're currently trying to actually use, try to get to Wudang and get to these coordinates. Now, when you get to these coordinates, what's gonna happen is people are probably usually gonna be saying, TP, looking for group 25 or so, and then you end up in something like this. Now, you need to actually be there for your turn, and you don't want to miss it because you actually make yourself gain less experience. So, something you need to actually understand is 100% fatigue is equal to 100%. Actually, I'm sorry. 100% fatigue is equal to 100,000 cultivation. So, make sure you have 100,000 cultivation, or you will be wasting your fatigue. Now think about where you want to put your actual cultivation. Like if you're at a point where a certain skill can't go any further, like as you can see, like I'm about to hit like level 20, so I'm on my inner skill. So I'm about to just, later on, I'm just gonna change it and make it go to something else. You can see on the bottom right there, the little Buddha type icon. You can actually change what skill you want to actually train. So as you can see, I'm number 6 in this particular one right now. So I would like to not miss that. So you please, like if you're in this, make sure that you actually have the time. It doesn't take that long. It takes between 5 to 10 minutes. And make sure that when you get to your point, like as you see here is about to come to my point, that you are ready to do what you need to do. And you also see that I actually changed the skill so I can level up something else, which I know I wanted to get my other skills going on. So yeah, pretty cool, right? It's the fastest way you can level in the game, hands down. It only takes you like 5 to 10 minutes. So just always try to do this every day. And then there's actually pills that actually make your fatigue go back down. So as you can see here, I'm just basically, doing my thing right here. And I made my turn, which you usually get like one turn depending on where you're at. If you're anywhere between 6 to 10, you're probably gonna get 2 turns rather, I'm sorry. If you're anywhere between 1 to 5, you'll probably end up having to do it 3 times. But it doesn't really matter. It's not really hard. It's like a dance game. And like I said, it's the fastest way that you can level in the game. And I gave you the coordinates, so please make sure that you try to do this every day. It's in your best interest. Okay, another thing I want to touch on with you guys is factions. It's really easy. It's kind of like probably one of the first couple of things that you want to do. So what you want to do is hit N and go to faction over here. These are mini dungeons. Pay close attention to these because this is a very easy way for you to earn money relatively quick, and it's a very easy way to build up chi from fighting different bosses in here, fight the different mobs, and get introductory loot. Now you can start to get like your first skill, which is Demon Heart Chain. Like not your first skill, but you can get this particular part of the demon set, Tai Chi, hand to hand skill, and you actually get the headbutt skill. I believe though that you actually have to have like the entry level for this, like so you need to get other things before you actually be able to use this one. So don't necessarily worry about that right now, but it's good to have the skill. You can put it in your bank or something to hold on to it for later. You get Whirlwind Step and you get Jump Across the Cloud, which these are both flying skills and you need those, and you can buy them relatively cheap, but why buy them when you can just earn them? Now to get to these different things, like as you can see Baidu, all you really have to do is left click right here and it'll auto run you directly to it. As you can see right here, it's gonna go over to Liaolang and it'll auto run me right there. You don't have to even really worry about anything. The reason why you want to go do these because you get special stuff at the end. Like if I can complete and keep doing Badu, then I get a chest at the end, and it could be random things that you get from the actual chest, but it is actually worth doing because you can sell them, you can do whatever you want, you can sell the books, you can sell the skills. They're relatively worth so the books themselves are worth these books are worth something. These are not worth anything really because they're hard to actually level because you need the actual skills to begin with. So nobody really buys this stuff. But the Demon Heart Chain, yes. The Mantis skills, let me see. There we go. The Mantis Fist, people buy that because this is a very good skill set. So I love the skill set. I had it on my Shaolin and I'm kind of sad that I don't have it now. I have to get it back. But it's definitely worth actually going out to get. So again, like I said, go out there, try these out. Try to stay within these couple until you get to like your inner skill to like around 20, and your skills are all like level 2 or 3 or something like that. You all your cheese maxed out with your sorry, I'm sorry. All your meridians are maxed out until they get to like you when you get to inner level 25, then you can get your main level meridian pat like to go past this limit. So make sure that you start trying to do all that stuff before you go on to these, because these are relatively hard and they will kick your ass. So you really need to be ready and willing and able to go after it. Okay, one pitfall I will show you guys really quick. The doctor is usually around factions, and a lot of people usually say, hey, like that he has skills and everything. This is kind of a pitfall because you need the actual introductory skills before you get these books. So you need like the novice books before you actually get to these books. These are apprentice, like, so you need novice. Don't think that you get these books and you're actually gonna, automatically have skills. It doesn't work like that. You can't get them. So with that said, just keep that in mind because they use Janghu info. You can just use that on other things for now and not even worry about this. So just word advice on that. Okay, the next thing I'll touch on is kidnapping. Kidnapping is really, really easy. All you have to do is get yourself some sedative, which you see is right here. It's a kidnapping item. It's best to have the highest level one, but if it's right in the beginning, they usually give you some free stuff. They give you like the level 6 ones, but I'm going to use a level 10 one on somebody. And the thing that what you want to do with kidnapping is it has something really easy to go on with it, and how you figure it out. You pick one place and you keep kidnapping in that one place and bringing it back to the same person, because then you build a rapport and they start giving you more money. And the good thing about it is you have to choose people who are strong, as you can see here. And I think this person is kidnapping or something. Like you may just be looking or whatever else, or just I guess not. He's just running around. Um, this is pretty much my favorite spot to do this because there's a lot of offline people here. You can keep doing it over and over again, and like I said, I can just pick up somebody and just be going. There's usually not a lot of people over here. Now, what I do notice is that there is a bot over here that you guys are gonna witness me kill him because he's constantly over here and he's annoying. You see, like it's a bot. It's not an actual person. It's a gold farming bot, and it's gonna get the hell out of here. And he's going down. He's constantly over here, and like you see the ridiculousness of what, like he hacks, he ports through stuff. Like I don't even understand how the hell he does that. Like where the hell did he even go? I guess I should have just killed him when I had the chance to, but whatever. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look for somebody lacking understanding. So let's see if I can find. Okay, here I went around back, and I'm gonna get this guy right here, and then I got rid of that stupid bot guy. There's no way to get rid of him because he just keeps coming back, so I just keep killing him if I see him around here. See, I basically got him woozy after I used the kidnapping item. I don't want to do the raid escort. Call my mount out so I can be slick with this and pick this guy up. Now I'm going on my mount, and what I basically do is, because I already know where the kidnapping guy is, he's going to be right here where I can turn him in at. I hit the auto run when I click on the grocer, and I will run all the way there. Now you need to pay attention because you don't want to be ganked. So you see I'm over here now. I did not get ganked. And now just walk up to this guy, and he says, yeah, his little shadiness that he has going on right here. And I turn him in, and there you go. I got me some profit. That guy wasn't worth a whole lot. He's only worth for me bonus, which is 8 liang. It's alright. And as long as you do it majority of the time, like I can kidnap 20 times in a day, and it can be anywhere between 100 to maybe 150, 200 liang that way. As you see here, basically what I want to show you really quick is you basically hit N and then you go to kidnap, and then it'll show you where in each town that you're at where you can go to turn the person in. I didn't show you that the first time, so I figured I would come back and do this correctly and show you. And this is pretty much all you gotta do with kidnapping. And don't get ganked. That's it. Okay, the next thing I would like to touch on is opening the stall and making money off of that. Now, it's not as hard as you would think it is. All you really have to do is go over here to P, and when you hit P, all you have to really do after that is basically put things in according to prices how you think they should cost. Now, you can guess or you can do it the proper way. You can go to V, now that's V, and go to all items. This basically opens up the trade center. Now, my suggestion for actually opening the shop is do it in Chengdu because this is where people go just to sell stuff in this game. There's really nowhere else that people really go besides here. They can go to other towns like Shuzu, I believe that's how you say it, but people generally come here. So it's in your best interest to come here. So let's say I wanna know how much, I don't know, iron costs. So let's go to material, I believe it is, and ore. And iron is pretty much like the rudimentary. So iron usually goes like, I see a 75 here, and I think that's the lowest somebody went to 75. So I'm not gonna go that low because that's extremely low. And I already had put it up here. I put mine at 90. So I got 127 up at 90. And you just go along the lines like that and just look for different things and see how much stuff costs, and then put your prices up accordingly to how much stuff costs, and you should sell stuff relatively easy. Now if you really want to sell it fast, then you undercut everybody and then you sell it fast. You won't make as much profit as everybody else, but you can make a good profit doing it this way. Like I said, you can use the faction stuff. You can use ores, like whatever ores you bring up, whatever you find. Just look on the auction house and see how much everything costs, and then put stuff up, and you'll be fine. The last thing I'll talk to you guys today, just for now, because I'm gonna do more of these. Everybody's asking, so I'll definitely do more of them. Check out my Jingu because it's a good place to see lore and show off different things. You can look at different gear. Like, look at that. That looks nice. Things like that. And it's just fun. Like when you just have time out, when you don't feel like doing anything else, you can just put stuff on. It's kind of like playing dress up, even though, it's not quite so girly. Check out different mounts. See, look at that. I like that. I like that horse. I like this outfit. Well, wait, what is that in the back? Is that a face in the back? I don't like that anymore. That's creepy. Let's put something else on. Yeah, let's rock this. Well, look like Ric Flair or something. But yeah, so don't neglect this because this is a pretty fun type of thing to actually have. So I'll catch you next time and next video. Now, what I do is I go to Jingling, or however you pronounce it, and I farm silver because I'm high enough to farm silver. If you're not high enough, just stick with iron and copper. Excuse me, until you get higher enough to farm silver, and then just after that, it just gets better and better. Now, the reason why this all works pretty well is because you can go to Chingu and actually go and sell silver, iron, and copper to the people who have stalls there. They always buy this stuff. If you open up the stall and you put it in the stall and leave it there for like an hour, like just pay attention to it, people will buy it relatively easy. I'm gonna show you just how easy in a second. You can kind of make probably about, if you farm all the time, you could probably make like 100 ling easy in a day. Just BSing, probably in 3 or 4 hours. I know, so I see some people talk about they have guys where they can make like a whole thing and all that type of stuff. I'm not gonna say that because like I really don't have time to do stuff like that. So you can see basically what I've sold. I sell all the ingots and all the ore. I also sell coarse cloth and flux. Now I'm gonna show you where I get that in a second and how I go about doing that. Now I also sell books. Books are relatively easy to get if you once you get strong enough. I think you should get to like your ender level to like level 20 or so, and you can start doing like the entry level faction dungeons solo. You can probably do them solo by yourself with potions and everything else like that, and just start farming that and building up like flax and coarse cloth, and you can just start building up money that way. Like as long as you're patient with as far as with the mining, you can build it pretty fast because you know there is a cap on mining, and it doesn't actually allow you to go that far every day. So just as long as you do it every day and fill your cap, you'll get to the point where you start farming silver, and then you start farming lead and other things like that where people buy a whole lot. You can see like I'm just basically going over different things like that, like see flax, and Gizzle Green is pretty good. It's a little bit, not, I won't say in depth, but you should start looking into that because that helps makes bags, and people buy bags a lot. Not only do they buy bags, but they buy the greens themselves. So if you can actually get to a point where you're getting a lot of those, you'll be making money. As you can see here, I'm just going down the line showing you different things, and I'm going to show you at the end how I go about how much money I made. Now what I'm going to show you here is the faction challenge. Now the faction challenge, you can see I went in here solo. I sped the time up so you can see just how long it took here and everything. You go in here and you can get loot from actual mobs in here, which is usually just crap stuff like the flux and the course core, but those actually add up, and you can actually use that to sell stuff and make bags. If you can have like a alt that makes bags, you can use send all the cloth over there and just make bags, and then they always have bags. Or you can sell the bags because the bags go between 5 to 10 liang. The small bags. I've sold quite a few small bags. I didn't think they would sell that well, but they have sold that well. Like between, like I said, 5 and 10 liang, which is pretty good. All that stuff kind of builds up. So you have like the silver. Now another thing to note is that you also get items and things that after you finish 6 of these faction quests. So well, not quests, but faction challenges. So it's in your best interest to actually go out there and do this. It's not hard, and it's relatively easy to be honest with you. Like you see me just pulling everything together right now and just bringing everything together right now. Looting. There's my course cloth right there. And you get seeds too for food. You actually get a whole lot of it, which is annoying because I don't even care about the seeds to be honest. But people say that you can actually sell that, and I actually see people sell that and make food out of that. So no, I don't sleep on it. Keep it in your inventory, keep it in your bank if you want to, and go about selling that. I personally I don't, because to me it's harder to sell. I just want to sell stuff fast and get it over with. And for me, it's the cloth, it's the ore, making bags, and farming this for books because the books sell. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you exactly why that the books sell as well as they do, but they sell a lot. Like the whirlwind books, like the actual you get the different jumps and the flying skills and all that. Those books sell, and you would think as much as you get them that they wouldn't sell, but they do. So take it from me and get that money pretty much because it's there for you to get. As far as with the mining, trust me, if you get your mining high enough, you will be rich. You won't even need to do anything else. You can just go mine 2 or 3 nodes and just be rich because people need it. Now, as you see here, I'm just basically trying to clean this whole place out. It helps with your overall rating. When you kill everything, it helps with your rep. So you might as well kill everything. It's not like they can kill you. And it helps with your chi because you get chi for all the damage you do. And why not? Why not get that loot? Why not kill everything? Now the bosses themselves, the bosses may be a little bit hard. Some of them you can't actually beat if you're not strong enough because they'll stun you, they'll skill lock you and do so much damage that you can't actually over damage them, which is just really sucky, and it happens once in a while. There's a few bosses that are like that. Like that, the extreme top bosses, like in the Tea Party or the stuff like that, like they're pretty hard to deal with. So as you get stronger, you'll be able to take them out. But in the beginning, if you get them, you probably just gonna want to cancel and start again and try to get somebody like from the gray level or from the green level and just keep farming that way. You see here, I'm just wiping everything out. I'm going to show you guys at the end, like I said, how much money I made in like one day of doing this. Like it's not a whole lot, but it's pretty much probably like I think like 70 liang. Not even trying. Like I just did like the 6 runs in one particular spot, and pretty much I ended up with 70 liang, which is pretty good. Also, don't forget the wooden chest right here. If somebody told you you can get unbound silver 70 liang a day, you would like that, right? Why not wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want to get that type of stuff? It's free, and it evens the scale a little bit on what you can actually do, as compared to not having the VIP Jingu. So do what you gotta do. Now you're gonna see me basically here take this guy on, and I'm just gonna face roll it because he's not gonna do enough damage to me. He's not hard, and so the key to doing this is you want to do it fast. And as you see here, I have potions. You want to have your chakra regen potion, and you want to have your HP regen potion. So if you do happen to take some type of damage, use your flying skills or whatever skill you can to get away. I usually try to back off and jump backwards, and then as soon as I land, be spamming the heal button, and usually get the heal off before the boss hits you again. Some bosses don't give you any chance though, so you either have to be strong enough to tank and deal with them, or just do what you gotta do, or you just probably might die. So he's gonna try hard to do his thing, but he's going down. Whatever skills you have, like I said, you should be around enter 20 to start trying to do this. The higher the better, of course, because you're gonna have more defense. Of course, you need more gear. Try to use your yellow effort coins to get just like the basic gear, and then go from there and try to upgrade that gear. Don't really try to worry too hard about buying gear in the beginning, because you really don't need to buy any gear in the beginning. It's all overpriced, and it's gonna just, even if you did try to buy it, it's like ridiculously overpriced. Like, just don't do it. It's just not good at all. Use like the base effort gear that you can get right at the start. Then as soon as you start getting to like your second enter and stuff like that, then worry about going to buy gear. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, and you could go out there and buy all whatever you want to buy. But I think personally, it's a waste of your money to actually go out and do that. So try it this way. If it works for you, clap clap. If it doesn't, do other things. Remember, this is just a beginner's look at making money. This in by no means is the best way to go about doing things. I just wanted to make something that people can see, like what they can do right out the box. Like mining, you can do right out the box, and make sure you go to Chingu and look for people who want to buy your iron ore, or maybe your copper ore, or your gold ore, and like you will be good to go that way. This is what you can do. You can do that from the base of like right as soon as you can get a trade skill. That's what you can do immediately to start making a little bit of money. So keep that in mind. And as you can see here, I got a little bit of stuff. I got jackdaw and got some herbs, got a book and everything. So and I learned that right there. I was like, yeah, give me that real quick. So you see right here, I just wanted to show you guys really quick what I earned yesterday. And there's that whirlwind step that I got from the instance that I showed. And like pretty much there it is right there. It was pretty easy, and I didn't have to do too much. So you see somebody bought the whirlwind step for basically 10 liang, and I got taxed a little bit. They bought my silver ingots, they bought my cloth, and you like that's just liang right there. It's very easy liang that you can go about doing, and just build up your money and do what you gotta do. I hope you guys found use out of all this. I hope you guys like it, and I will catch you next time. I'll make a whole bunch of videos on the Age of Wushu, as just simple, just from the way I see it, and be legendary. What's up, it's Scion Storm, and I'm back at you again today with some more Age of Wushu. Today I'm going to talk about the hero system and the treasure system, which they kind of go a little bit hand in hand because you can get treasures from the hero system. So basically, you see me right here, right now. I'm actually in the forest in Qinghu, and I'm looking for mobs. You know the right mob that you have for an area because they have the little sword next to them. You see there at the top, the dead body of the sword. And what you want to do is you want to look in the area where there's a lot of mobs at, so you can grind them quick. Which I'm right here, southeast of Qinghu. And as you can see, when you fill that bar up, a hero comes out and takes you on, which could be easy. Sometimes it could be hard. This one was relatively easy, even though she smacked me in the face right there and pimp smacked me somewhere. She really isn't all that hard. Like, as soon as I get free of the skill disable, I'm just gonna start putting the ass kick on her, as you can see. But yeah, you just do that, and what happens is when you beat them, you get pills. The pills give you either 10 or 100,000 chi points, which is pretty good. So you can just like max out your chi, or whatever chi level that you're at, If you're really high, then this really helps you to grind your chi. Now, things to note is you can't do it all the time in the same place. So once you kill 5 heroes, or you get 5 heroes to come out, you need to move on to a different area, and you can actually take on more mobs. So you can basically, if you want to, like, just do the whole zone, and when you're finished with one zone, go to the next zone. You can effectively max out your chi relatively fast doing that. When you're done beating on him or her, see, I had to change up into Mantis style for her, even though I only have like 3 skills. Don't worry, I'm gonna get more Mantis because Mantis is badass. I just like the way it looks attacking, and like she just looked like she just fainted. Like, you're a Mantis style, kick my ass. So as you can see there, I got a pill and I got a treasure. The treasure is pretty cool because you can actually use those in your treasure inventory. You can only get 5, but what you want to do is you want to look for treasures that actually do something with your actual skills. Just because you get treasures and they have points on them don't necessarily mean that they work for the skills you have. So you have to find a treasure that actually works for your skills. And as you can see here, I basically did it 5 times, and this is the 5th hero coming out. And the 5th hero is usually really hard, or somebody who has some type of skill or something like that. So they're gonna cheese, they're gonna try to kick your ass. So you better be ready for it. Now her, I didn't really allow her to do too much. She does. I fought her before, but not as a 5. But I was kind of shocked that she actually did come out as a 5. But something to note, that like the fifth people, when they come out, sometime you can get either 2 people to come out, or you can get a really high level person to come out. If you can manage to beat them, whatever faction they represent, you can get one of the books from that faction. So if it's like email like this person, maybe you might get an inner skill book or something like that, or you might get a frag. So it's very good to actually try to do this. I've actually gotten 2 frags since I actually started doing this, and I figured out the whole thing. So it's actually really good to do, and then the frags themselves cost a lot of money if you want to sell them, if you have no interest in the skills. So this is definitely something that you want to take advantage of. The treasures themselves, once you figure out the treasure system, which I'm going to show you right after this, they actually can start to make you a little bit of liang too. You can start to get between 10 to 20 to even 50 and 100 liang per treasure once you start figuring out how to handle it. I'm going to show you how to do that though right after this. Now, just want to show you me taking her out. Now, she's down, and what ends up happening, as you can see, I got that and I got that. Unfortunately, that particular time, I got 2 treasures instead of any pages or something like that, but still worth it. So we're gonna move on. Now here you basically see me in Chenghu, and I'm at the pawn shop. What happens is, as you can see here, I did a lot of farming, and I actually, got a whole bunch of treasures. You can sell the treasures to the pawn shop, and he gives you pawn tickets. What you can turn around and do with the pawn tickets after that is you can give the pawn tickets to the guy who's standing right next to the pawn shop guy, which is like a fencer or something like that. And he has higher level treasures that you can get, so you can basically trade all this in and then try to go after a treasure that you actually need. Now sometimes it won't actually be what you need, which sucks. It does happen though, but it'll be a higher level treasure which you can turn around and then sell because it's unbound. So it can be like a 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 liang item, and then you might even get lucky and get something extremely high, like it'll be purple or something like that, or gold, and then you can sell that for like 100 to 200 liang. So you'd be rolling in the dough basically. Now next I'm going to show you, actually this is the guy next to the pawn shop. You talk to him, and as you can see there, I already got the 2 items already. That's my first high level one. You would talk to him, and he had basically has some there, and I can't really tell what's what, but I just know one is more expensive than the other. So what I do is I always go after the more expensive ones automatically off the bat. You see right here, this is what I got. No, it doesn't work for me, unfortunately, so I'm gonna have to sell this, but it's very good stats. As you can see right there, it's handling a whole bunch of different stats right there, and I'm assuming that that's bigger. So pretty much I can just sell that to a beggar, or maybe somebody from the beggar sect wants to actually buy it from me in my store. This is gonna be pretty cool. So as you can see here, I went all the way down to the bottom, and I wanted to try to get the most expensive one because I had the tickets. I farmed it up. You can just keep doing this as much as you can. Now remember that this actually does cost liang, so you need to actually build up a little bit of liang first before you just go all willy-nilly and just getting this. But if you kidnap and you follow the whole miner thing that I showed you guys, you probably have plenty of money to actually take care of this Liang rather. So this is what I got, and basically it was pretty good. It didn't exactly be exactly what I wanted, but in worst case scenario, I can just sell them. As you can see right there, it's pretty good. Stat wise, again, it doesn't work for my stuff, but as you can see, it's pretty good. So somebody will buy it. And actually, to be honest with you, a minute I put this up, somebody brought this one because I put it up for 30 liang because I thought, I'd never seen it before, so let me throw it up for 30 liang, and it sold like within 2 minutes. So I was mad that I probably undercut myself and could have actually got more. But it happens because I don't know the prices of everything in the game, so you're gonna end up having stuff like that happen to you once in a while. It is what it is. Now this one I equipped it, as you can see there. And the other one, like that one, that's the one that pretty much sold. So there you go. That's the system, and I hope you guys get out there and have fun with it and make your money. Be legendary, and I'll see you next video. What's up, YouTube? Scion Storm here. Another day, another video, and what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna address something that people keep asking in this game, and that's how to make food. Food really isn't all that hard, and I'm going to show you how to do it and how to keep it away from your main character. What I basically did is I made an alt. And as you can see right here, I got the alt high enough. You pretty much have to choose a school and then get that school's cultivation art to level 2. Once you do that, you'll be able to choose life skills, which is you can basically choose cooking and farming. And once you go to the cook right here, as I showed you on the map, just buy a whole bunch of dew. I brought 50 dew, I believe, right here. You're only going to need to buy the dew, and then you're going to need to buy steam buns, which I kind of failed. I didn't buy it, and I had to go back after I was actually farming, and go buy the steam bun recipe. But buy that recipe, and then you go to the farmer, which is right there, and you got a mount, so you can get on the mount and just hop over there real quick. Takes like 10 seconds. It's really easy. And once you do that, as you can see, when I'm basically gonna be at the farm now. You do his little side quest, whatever else, unless you already have done this, and you don't really need to do that. And you get wheat, which are wheat seeds, and you get fertilizer, which is all cheap, and within the farmer's store. And he gives you a hoe, but you can buy another hoe when the hoe runs out. And I know how stupid that sounds, but it's what it is. Um, Of course, you also have to accept the fact, accept that you're going to be a farmer. But this is an alt anyway, so it doesn't matter. So there's going to be a farmer and a cook. So you go over here and you can pretty much, as long as there's room, you can make as many wheat patches as you want to make here. So don't be like skimpy with it because you need food for your main character, and you'll probably need food for this character too. You can also turn around and sell this food and make a stall and sit your character somewhere and then let your character make money off of this. If you actually have well, it's a little bit expensive to do it this way, but that's, some people may actually do this. You can have the alt and give it VIP privileges, and you can make an offline stall, and you can turn around and sell this food. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not telling you not to do that. I'm not telling you to do that. That's up to you if you want to spend your money that way. If you have money to give out like that for that, have two characters with VIP privileges, hey, power to you. But you can also just use your main character and just stand in the city somewhere with your stall and then sell food, which people will buy. And you can bypass all this by trying to go find people. But what I've noticed since I've played is that people overpricing and it's just ridiculous. And then sometimes it's just no food at all available, like last night. So that's why I'm like basically I'm making this all now because last night there was no food available and I couldn't believe it. So I was like, screw this. I'm gonna make my own food, and I'm gonna show everybody, basically how to do it in a quick and timely manner. So you see, like I just basically put down the food here. It's really easy, guys. It's not hard, and I know I'm doing it abbreviated, but believe me, it's just not hard. That's how just how easy this is, and it's just not like you just don't want to put your main character as the person who's farming. You probably want to go something else. You want to be anything else, but you probably don't want to have a cook and a farmer. So you can just do it this way. You can build it up and send money to the character. And as you make money selling food, you can probably turn around and invest into the character a little bit more and just make her straight up a cook. It's RP, sandbox, do whatever you want with it. But you'll always have a source of food, and it won't like mess up. Well, I'm not gonna say mess up, but it won't take up slots on your main character, so you can do what you want your main character. So if you want to make gear and do other things as your main character or be a fortune teller, well, I don't care what you want to do, but whatever you want to do, you won't have to actually be stuck cooking if you can't find food or if you can't find reasonably priced food. Hopefully that'll all go down and you won't really have to worry about all that. But as you can see, I'm making a whole bunch of steamed buns. I'm going to mail them over to my main character, and that's about it. Or you can just sell them. You can sit there and like open up the shop with the character, sell 'em. So that's pretty much it. That's all I got. I wanted to just show that with everybody. Just just a little tactic. I do this in other games too when I don't want my main character to be a certain trade skill. And this game is called Life Skills. But there you go. Hope you have fun with it, guys. Other than that, that's it. And be legendary. Get out there and get that legendary food. Peace. Storm, and this is another video for you guys. This one's Age of Wushu. This is my character in Age of Wushu. Now, this is not my original character that I had initially the first time. Somehow that character got deleted, and they don't even really know why and don't know how to explain it to me, but that character got the boot. So I had to remake my character, and this is that character. What I'm going to talk about today basically is teaching you guys how to level. I would say fast and just understanding leveling. Now the first thing you need to know in leveling in this game is that there is really technically no real level, but what there really is there's inner skills. Now when you get to your inner skills, it's basically like this. So that pops up, as you see right here. My first inner skill is meditation, and that's for my school. It's always going to be based off of whatever school you had. You also get a first one that's pretty useless, is like self-recollection, and you probably won't even really use that all that much in the beginning, so don't even worry about that one. As you can see here, the stats compared to even though that my meditation is leveled up, the stats are just not even comparable. And I found this one. I don't even know where I got that from, actually, to tell you guys the truth. But I have that one, and I'll never actually use it. But my first skill is my showering skill, which is meditation. Now, the reason why you want to level this skill up is because it gives you base stats, and gear really doesn't give you a lot of base stats. It does give you stats, but it's more in line that you actually use meditation level it. Now, there's ways that you can level it. You can do internal cultivation, which is pretty much an auto type of leveling, and it works off your experience conversion, which I'll tell you what experience conversion is in a second. You see mine's is it's kind of low because I haven't really been doing any type of quest or anything lately, or any of I believe it's Jingsha. I think that's how you pronounce it. I could be just totally blowing that word up right now, but is what it is. A second way that you can actually level it is practicing your skills. Now, I did this already earlier, so I probably won't be able to really show you anything, but you can actually pay for it, as you can see here, and it's expensive. Like I have a good deal. No, I wouldn't say a good deal. This is my money. This is all the money I have right now, and this is basically all off a quest, and I'm going to explain that in a second. But what happens here, you can pay. I can do see 2.5 like 530 win, and I can do that. And see, I don't have enough unbound for that, so it won't do anything. But it'll help you level pretty much that way. And you can do the middle one, and you can do this one, and this is just like a payway. You see my level is 19, and I'm getting my wushu on a little bit, and he's getting his wushu on, showing his skills. Like I like the way they do that. Next thing you can do is team practice. Now, team practice is pretty cool if you do it out in the world with another group. Now, I'm not going to be like everybody else who just, oversteps and overbounds. All team practice really is this. You start team practice, and I'm just doing it. It doesn't matter. And I'm going to stop it too. It's kind of similar if you want to actually remember Dance Dance Heroes. You just need to be there, and you do that. As you can see, my experience converted, I got 10. And as long as you're there with another player, or preferably a full team of players, I do apologize. I live in New York and Brooklyn, and a cop car came by pretty loud, so I guess they were after somebody pretty hardcore. Now, as you can see here, I have my little bar up right here. What I can actually do is I can use my team practice right here and start to level it forcibly. So I'll push right over and K, and boom. As you can see here, I got 10 points, and that moved up. Now, on your own, when you're by yourself, this is not faster than an internal cultivation. It's kind of not even the point to do it by yourself, other than if you're going to do the quest. So what you want to do is you want to get people to actually come with you and join you into that, so you actually get more experience of doing that. And you need everybody actually there. If people aren't there, you're not going to get a whole bunch of experience of that. So I'm going to do this one again in K. Once again, as you can see, that's pretty much how it is. It's not hard, nothing too fancy. And I'm going to move along from here and explain experience conversion. And you're going to see a quick fade. Now that I showed you all that, what you basically need to actually level is you actually need to have a pool of cultivation. Now you get cultivation from various ways. You get it from actually being offline. It's a good way to get cultivation. They give you a lot for being offline. What you end up doing is you end up turning that cultivation into EXP points, which is right here, cultivation progress. So let me cut my eternal cultivation back on and get it rolling again, and it'll start to burn the cultivation that I have and start turning that into my EXP for my inner skill. Now, once again, the reason why you want to have an inner skill because it helps all your base stats and makes you actually hit harder and be badass. Now, there's another thing to that. What you want to do when you want to cultivate, if you want to actually cultivate in a cool place, or what we call the sacred place, because that makes cultivation actually go faster. So if you want to, you can leave your character somewhere in the game, and I don't know what the hell just happened. Oh, I triggered the storyline by mistake. Well, whatever, it can just do that. um like I was saying, you want to go to a sacred place so you can actually, level faster. You can go offline and do that, and it's pretty cool because, well, not offline. You can go and leave your character there, staying there. You can go do whatever. You go play another game if you want to, and just leave your character there. As long as it's a safe spot, you'll be there the entire time leveling, and none the wiser. It's a pretty cool way to the level. Not nothing anything too hard. Now, another thing that you can do is when you do quests, you start getting jackdaw items, and they actually improve your experience points. And I'm going to show you those now. I have a whole bunch of it. You see there, I have 100, literally, and I'm about to pop one right now. Go ahead. Jackdaw. That's like sake or sake or whatever, however you pronounce that. I just drank it. So, as you can see there, increases experience conversion speed by 25%. You can spam that. Just like you see how many I got. I rock that. That's how I get my experience fast. So with that in mind, let's go here. Once you get to 20, is pretty common that people say to go off the other skills. So let's talk about that. Now that I'm almost at 20, I'm definitely not going to use the base kung fu. I'm gonna go to my actual, my Shaolin kung fu. And you see I've actually done two already. I was like, yeah, you know what, whatever, I'm gonna do that. Which is like this move right here. This move is ridiculous. It hits freaking hard and it's just OP. So I made that level 2. And what are you standing there before? Let me make sure he's not a spy or something. I have to kick his ass. He has a sword. It says he's from Shaolin. Alright. You don't die. Um And I got the dual hands one, which is kind of like a AOE frontal move, and I just love it. It looks so cool. It does a lot of damage. So you basically I can level those skills. After I got the 20, or you don't even have to wait if you want to be somebody who want to level your skills early and be like F in their cultivation. I don't suggest that, but you can actually do that. So you see right here, this is pretty much my skills, and as you see, like right there, you've gained 287 cultivation points, experience converted, and that's pretty cool. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is meridians. People make meridians a whole lot more complicated than it really is. It's really not. You get your base meridian, which is right here. It's called key gathering and tandem. It's like your base one, and this is what it does. Here's the stats. It ignores defense, internal skill, whatever, blah 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 blah, whatever. To make this really fast and easy for you, and without having 10 minutes long of explaining something that's really just to over explain, it's another stat. It's just another stat area that you can actually level. It works off of chi. Everything that you do in the game gives you some type of chi. Specifically more so fighting and doing trade skills and then helping people on quests. You get good chi, whatever else like that. That makes it level. And you see this bar right down here, right there, that actually controls your actual chi, where you like not controls, but that shows you where your level is with your chi. Another thing really quick I can show you is over here. It also has an area where you can actually see your meridians, like just a different way of bringing it up. You see I did it actually from this menu right here, which is the martial art book, and you go down to the squiggly thing, and that's your meridians right there. It's just not named that, but that is your meridians, as you can see right there. And you can also see this little icon right here. You can bring that up and it'll show you your meridians, and then you actually are capped for the day as much as chi. Like you see my chi just reset, and I'm going to show you guys something in a second, something that I figured out, restarting the character, which I'm glad I'm restarting the character, because this character is stronger in a few days than my other character was. But we're going to get to that in a bit. As I said, this is your first one that you get. As you can see here, it has stats, and this is very important. You see it does, pretty good stats for stuff that you may want to use in the future, and you always want to level them up. So pay attention to that. You see this one, I have it at max 9. I can't go any farther right now because I have to break through my inner limit with my inner cultivation, which I'm about to do that, like probably like in 5 or 6 hours. Um, Next up we have the 13. As you can see here, but it's not really 13, it's more like 8. But you can choose 3 in the beginning, and then as you go through the story quest, you get a 4th one. As you can see here, I had the main one chosen, and then I went ahead and chose, I believe this is Ime, yep. And this is Scholars, and this is my actual one, which is Shaolin. Now, what you want to do is you want to actually choose each one, and when you choose them, you'll get that check. So let me hit the close. As you see, I cut it off, and then that means basically I cut that off. But I don't want to cut that off because that's my Shaolin, and that's my boys. And if I want to train it, then I would go to Discipline, but it won't let me because I already went 9 and 9. So let's go over here to Discipline again with Scholars. Again, that's 9 of 9, and now you see here, now what I would normally do is I would actually go in and then try to level this up, but I'm gonna do something a little bit different because I want to show you guys what I actually did to get these done so fast, because this character really is like only 2 days old, and it's kind of unheard of to have this much done in 2 days. So I'm gonna show you what I did. Here we go. Now you see these Lichen pills. Now what's cool about this and this, and you see that just the way my bag is just destroyed. On the main page, there's a link that I'm going to show you right after I show you this part, that you can get 4 different packs. You get them for free. All you have to do is sign up at different sites. No, both majority of those sites I was already signed up at to begin with, and this is actually on the game's main page, which is pretty cool. They basically are giving you items away that make you level faster, and you get your base meridians done faster. So look at what. All right, what I'm going to do now is I'm gonna cut this one off, stop cultivation, and close. Now I need to find one that I actually want to do. Let's find something, hard defense. Do I really want to do that? Well, matter of fact, yes, I do want to do that. The Royal Guards, because look at that. Recover HP, hard defense, HP goes higher, external critical rate, which probably means nothing for me, but I don't care because it's just whatever. I'm gonna do activate and then discipline, whichever we don't have to do that. But now we're gonna go into this. Now you see here, this one says I get a hundred thousand chi, and for my, you see my limit is 210,000. So what I can do from here is, let me right click that, and you're gonna see this in a second. Boom. I just went up 5, 6 to 7th level in my meridian just that quick with that item, and this is just one of the items that you get free from the game itself. So I just basically got stats just that fast on the meridian. So let's just go up in here and look. See, so now I'm up to 7, which is pretty much the same thing that I did right here that get this to 7. And what I didn't want to do is I didn't want to waste it, because if I used another 100,000, it would have been capped and it would have just cut off the rest of that 100,000. That would have just been wasted forever. So I just went to another meridian, got more stats, and I'll probably never use this meridian again, but I'll take those stats. So we'll stop that cultivation, we'll close it, and I'll go back to the meridian that I will probably use because I'm going after skills from those particular schools. So I'll activate it again and then hit discipline. Now everything that I'm going to do at that point is going to actually be back doing chi again to build towards this 7 and 9. And this is pretty much how you level. Now let me show you guys how I got these items for free. Okay, what you want to do from here is you want to go to the main site. See, this is the main site right here. Scroll down and go to the media gift pack extravaganza. Now I know you're probably like, people should have seen this. Like there's no way that you guys should have seen this. Sign up for every single one of these packs, every single one, because it gives you free items that make you level or like almost automatically, and it's just ridiculous. That's how I level my meridians that fast. So sign up to every single one of these. Okay, now you saw how I got all that. My suggestion for you, if you want to level pretty much fast, do everything. Do all your quests, because when you do your quests, what ends up happening, some quests actually give you different experience levels or different, as you see here, you got level 4, level 5. This all determines your conversion speed. So the more quests that you do, or the more things that you do actually in your, let's go. Is it here? Which one is it? There we go. Wanderer. See all these daily events? These also give you points towards this. So like I said, the more you actually build up experience with, you see how low all these are. So I have to get to start busting ass now, start doing my dailies and start doing my different things that affects my conversion speed. It makes me level faster, makes this makes this bar move faster. So the more this conversion speed goes up, the more this moves. So what you want to do again is do everything. Do every single quest, because there's no reason not to, because you can just point and click and then like read a book while you run somewhere and then go kill whatever you gotta kill, or go pick up or talk to whoever you gotta talk to. It's just that simple, unless you're doing story quests. Or maybe a hidden quest or a random quest happens for you, or you're doing gossip, that'll take more interaction. Or if you're doing one of these, like you need to do like stealing school scripts and all that type of stuff, as you can see here, like all of this stuff right here determines if you're how fast you want to move with your exp. So what I would suggest you do first during the day is do dailies, do the daily quest, maybe do steal a school script or something like that, or kidnap somebody, whatever you want to do something like that to actually give yourself, like, you see, this is just steadily going down because I'm not doing any type of quest or anything like that. So do everything and you'll be fine leveling wise. Also worry about your inner skill first, and then turn around and do your meridians afterwards the way that I showed you. with getting them free from the site with the items, you'll be way better off. Like there'll be people who are there's a lot of noobs who just like to pick fights with you and everything. So stay around in your school and start building up stuff like this and start building up your eternal cultivation, and then come out when you're like around 15, have your meridians up, and then you will have like a little bit of a fighting chance towards the noobs who like to pick a fight. You probably kick their ass really, but because they probably won't even know how to do majority of that, because most of the people who pick fights, they suck. Like they don't know how to play the game, they don't know what the hell they're doing, and their skills are down, but they got a little bit of money, so they bought a few items, and they'll be a little bit stronger than you because they have the items. But and if you do it this way, you'll actually be a little bit stronger than them. And if you got items, so then you got the power behind the items, so you just come up to them and will be looking at them like, you trying to hit me? Like, take this little punch to the face real quick and then flatten them. Or like one guy today, he came running up on me. He's actually somebody who's killed me on my other character, which is funny. But today he ran up on this character. I guess he was like, oh, is Scion Storm again? Let me try to kill him. And I was one shot at him. It was pretty hilarious, like straight up flattened. And when you get one shot in this game, you get flattened. You just like be standing 1 second and then just flat the next. So there's no animation or nothing. You just face plant. It's horrible to see it happen, but it's funny when you do it to somebody. But other than that, that's it. That's all I'm gonna do for this one. This is gonna be an ongoing series. I'm just gonna try to tell it like it is from my point of view, and hope you enjoy it. And I play this like in my off time, because this game is definitely a game that you can passively play. Like, I've passively got this character to where it's at right now, not even trying it. I'm not kidding you guys. So I will catch you next time, and be legendary. Oh, and before I almost forgot, most important thing is use this. Like, just as much as you can, use that, and just try to have fun and use these particular items, because you'll be well off. Like, see, look at this. Like, look at that's another item that I got from that bag, and you can actually get them from actually doing daily quests. So don't forget your dailies. Other than that, be legendary. I'll catch you later. I appreciate everybody who stops by and watches my channel. So if you'd like to see more of my videos, you can click the top right end card and see more of my videos on the playlist, or you can click the bottom right and subscribe to the channel. Once again, one love, and thanks for stopping by. Peace.